Hello guys, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Hannah and today I will be picking out my May TBR. I don't usually do TBRs because I'm such a mood reader, but I have about 23 or so books on my physical TBR and I would like to get that number just a smidge down. I am getting to the point where when I finish a book, there's so many good options on my shelves that I just cannot, it's too many choices. And so I am going to, this month, let my little TBR jar, I know, so original, my little TBR jar pick up 4 of the books that I am going to read this month, hopefully. Hopefully is a key word there, but we're gonna try this out, first time doing this. I'm aiming to read about 7 to 8 books, so that would leave me about 3 or 4 to pick on my own, so I think that's a good balance. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. First pick, I am actually so nervous. I hope I get more historical fiction and romance. That's kind of what I'm in the mood for. Not particularly in the mood for fantasy, but I have so much fantasy on my shelves that I'm sure that that's going to be one of the books that I get. So we'll see. All right. So the first book is, oh, I've actually been meaning to read this one. This one is Kingdom of the Cursed. Let me get that book. All right, so the first book that I picked out of the TBR jar was Kingdom of the Cursed by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the second book in the, I want to say it's the Wicked Kingdom? No, oh my gosh, I made this mistake. The first time that I did a wrap up, I made the mistake of calling it the Wicked Kingdom. It is not the Wicked Kingdom. It is the second book in the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. And I have actually been meaning to read this since I read the first one in February. The first one I gave 3 stars, I believe. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, and I was interested enough to put this one on my TBR and pick it up at the bookstore. So I'm actually really glad that I got this one because the first one's starting to fade from memory. All right, second book, picking out 4. So I have 3 left. Oh my gosh, another great one. So this one is a fantasy. It is going to be City of Brass, or the City of Brass. I chose not to put the. So the second book that I picked out of the TBR jar is a chunker of a book, but it looks so good. I've heard such good things about it. It is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And I can't really tell you too much about this book. I kind of picked it up because I just saw so many people loving it, and I've heard such amazing things about the trilogy as a whole. But I do know that it is set in 1700s Cairo, which is a place that I've never read about. And I think there's definitely magic in here. It's definitely a fantasy. I might just go in blind, and yeah, but I've been meaning to pick this one up as well. I've actually been meaning to pick up my entire TBR, but this one especially I've had my eye on. It's just been a little bit intimidating because of the length. It's just a chunky book, but I've heard such good things, so I am hopeful that I will just love this book. All right, on to my third pick of the month. Oh my gosh, I do have one particularly in mind that I would like to get. Oh my gosh, another fantasy. See, I'm getting all the fantasies. I have so much fantasy. This one is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, which I will grab. I can probably grab from here. So the third book that I picked out was The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. This book follows, I actually don't know how much. I know that it's Norse inspired. I think I got this recommendation from Peruse Project, or maybe, oh, I forgot his channel name, but I got this recommendation from a few other booktubers, and it is definitely, it's a high fantasy, I know that. It's Norse inspired, I know that, and I don't think that it has any romance in it, which I think is why I wanted to pick it up. I just wanted to try a fantasy that wasn't centered on romance. I read a lot of romantasy. The cover is freaking beautiful. It's very epic. I love dragons, so it has a dragon in it. It kind of is already giving me good vibes. I'm kind of hoping that it's somewhat Game of Thronesy. I've been kind of in the mood for like a Game of Thrones-esque world. I might be wrong that this is kind of like that, but I know it has war. I know it has war, and I know it has dragons, and that is enough for me. All right, and this is the final book on my May TBR that I'm picking out from the jar. Book, this is the piece that I picked out. Let's see. Oh goodness, this is one I've been putting off. I'm not sure if I really want to read this, but it is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, obviously by, well, not obviously by, if I can't remember who it is. Who is it? Suzanne Collins. Yes, Suzanne Collins. She wrote The Hunger Games. This is the prequel. I got this book because I watched the movie when it came out, and I loved it. And I don't usually read books after I watch the movie because I just don't know if the book can give me that much more than the movie can. I know they're probably better, but it's just like I already know what happens. But I've heard a lot about how the book kind of explains Snow's inner monologue a lot more deeply, and you kind of understand why it's not a romance, which I was kind of shipping them, even though like he did, you know, try to like pew her. I was kind of seeing it. So I wanted to understand why it's not, and why he is the way he is, because to me it didn't get through to me through the movie. So let's grab that one. Yeah, I just been putting this one off, and I'm really not sure why I'm putting it off. I think it's kind of chunky too. Yeah, it's a little over, if not reaching 500 pages, so it's kind of a chunker. I've got a lot of big books. All right, guys, these are the books that I picked from my TBR jar. I'm excited to read these. I'm a little bit intimidated by these books. Like, they're very heavy. Like, my hand is breaking trying to hold up these books. I think the one that I'm most excited for is probably The City of Brass, and then also The Shadow of the Gods. The one that I'm kind of like, okay, like I don't know if I'm gonna get to it this month, is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's the one that I'm kind of the least interested to read, not because I don't ever want to get to it, but because I'm actually not sure why. It's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful book, and I know the story is good because I've seen the movie, but I just don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully I will get through most, if not all of these. Obviously, I got well, I actually did get some historical fiction, I suppose. Historical fantasy. I guess this kind of falls into historical fantasy. I still think that I got such a good pull of the books. We'll see how much I get through. But anyways, thank you for sticking with me through this video. Thank you for watching me pick out my first TBR. I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm excited to see how much I actually get through, and I will see you later on this month. Since I'm out of school, I'm able to create more content and do more bookish things and read more, all of the things related to that, and I am so very, very excited. I have quite a few ideas in mind, so I hope to see you soon. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.